Yo, what up, YouTube? Dustin B. Johnson. I'm back. We're talking bikes today. We haven't done this in a while, so we're going to get this started right because it's going to be a good one. Probably not. About the same as the other ones. If you guys are long-term subscribers from the channel, you already know I constantly change stuff on my bike. I'm not super picky, but I'm really picky, if that makes any sense. I'm going to start this off with a little screwball. If you guys haven't tried this stuff's amazing. I have no affiliation. It's a peanut butter whiskey. It's fire. So good. A little screwball to kick this baby off. Nice healthy pour. We're going to need it. Maybe we'll get a sponsorship. Cheers. Whew. God, that's fire. Peanut butter whiskey. Who would have thought? Screwball. Okay, so some of you may have known or have seen my Score 4060 on Pink Bike for sale. I wasn't really going to sell it. I just wanted to see what the resale value is.
Yeah, okay, sure thing, sure thing.
I mean, if someone did offer me $5 grand for it, I would have taken it, but I wanted to just see how low I could get the price of this bike just for resale purposes. I really love this bike. I'm not selling. If you guys know, like, everything on my bike and on this channel is always for sale. Everything's always for sale. Because I just like trying new shit and trying out other things. God, that's good. So, I had the transmission posted for sale as well. I had XX transmission. Been running it for, I want to say I got maybe 700 miles on it, give or take. Somewhere between like 500 and 700 miles on it. So I got a healthy dose of the new transmission and I love it. I've got a couple videos on there. Dustin, if you love it, why are you selling it? Good question. It's amazing. I think it's a game changer. Where I really noticed how good transmission is on very punchy climbs and under power. You're able to shift under load. It's unreal. It's amazing. It's so addicting feeling. But why I was getting rid of it, everything in life is just getting so expensive right now. And it's like, I kind of want to get back to the roots. It's the same thing as of why I didn't really like the original Axis. I didn't really like the original Axis because I just didn't feel like it was a true ground up revolutionary thing. It was just kind of slap a motor on the regular derailleur and battery powered, and it would shift into gears whether you wanted it to or not. And I've snapped a couple teeth off some cassettes, and it just was, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was super refined, and I think transmission really is refined. There's one simple reason why I sold it, and you know, I'll probably get a GX or XO down the road. We'll see, but it's just $2,000 for that thing, and that's where I'm going to get at is the price. It's just so expensive. Like, I saw on the Black Friday deals, I'm just going to throw a cable setup on here that I had laying around for another bike I was going to build that I'm not going to build anymore. I always run an XO1 shifter. I'm going to just do a cable setup. I have some GX cranks that came with the bike, GX derailleur, GX cassette. I'll probably go to an XO or a Garbaruk cassette and an XO chain, XO1 chain. But it's just, I saw on Black Friday you could get a complete drivetrain, bottom bracket included, GX cable for $400. It was like $404 on Black Friday. And that's insane because the cassette for the XX transmission is $600. You could literally get a whole drivetrain that works really well. I think the biggest performance enhancement for the GX drivetrain is doing that XO1 shifter. I've ridden XO1, XX1, GX. I've ridden XO transmission, XX transmission, Shimano XTR, Shimano XT, Shimano SLX. I've ridden every single one. My favorite, like, bang for your buck setup is the XO1 cassette, and then pretty much GX everything else. Maybe you want to save some weight, go with the XO1 cassette. But for me, it's just it's a value thing. And I did notice the transmission. I mean, I put that 700 miles on it, and the cassette still looked like brand spanking new. So I think with transmission, the way it's so precise when it shifts, the wear and tear on the drivetrain is not nearly as bad as the original cable stuff or the first generation Axis stuff, because it shifts at the proper time. And I think that's awesome. So I think the longevity of that transmission is going to be killer. So it's a, you know, how many cassettes am I going to go through on this, you know, cable setup to make it worth it to go to a XX transmission? Honestly, if I were going to buy a transmission again, I probably just would have bought XO, because I just think that's the best value. Bang for your buck. And I mean, that was before GX came out. The GX transmission looks good too, but I'd probably go with one of those if I was going transmission again. I just don't think $2,000 for a complete drivetrain is just worth it. And an XX transmission setup, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's heavier than like a standard GX cable setup. And the transmission stuff's really heavy. I know it's not all about weight. I haven't weighed a bike apart in over a year. I just quit caring about weight. But $400 lighter, $2,000. Worry about batteries. I mean, however you want to play it out. You know, I'm not here to tell. And people get so mad at me. They get so like, oh my God, Dustin, you said this, and Dustin, you said that, and oh, you told me it was so good, and now you sold it. And it's like, just because I sell something doesn't mean I don't like it. It just means that I'm ready to like try something different. And I was actually looking at possibly putting this as a GX build and throwing it back up for sale again. And because there's a lot of good deals out right now, I'm thinking of maybe trying that short travel score or something like that. I rode that Yeti SB140. I'd like to try the 120 RockShox edition. Those are on sale. So I was like, you know, if I can get a fair amount of money for this and try something different, then I might do it. But I'd have a hard time really selling this bike because I do love it. And but yeah, that's the reason why I'm selling. It's just purely a money thing. The chains are like $120 for XX. A replacement cassette is $600. So when it is time to, you know, swap out your chain ring and your chain and your cassette, I mean, that's a hefty bill. Whereas, you know, you can find deals on the cable GX or XO stuff, and, you know, yeah, you might have to change it out 2 times for every 1 time on the transmission, because I think the transmission is going to have a lot longer durability on there. But man, everything is so expensive, and I have so many hobbies that I'm just like, all right, I need to kind of manage what I'm doing here. And you know, I'm really into my motorcycle. I'm really into my R7. I got that gravel bike that Thomas built for me. That thing's super killer. So I'm gonna be riding that. So I like kind of spread myself out a little bit more, and maybe I'm not riding this as much. So, you know, throwing a cable setup back on it, I'm not gonna really notice the difference that much. Honestly, with it, when it comes to transmission, I'll just leave on this note is the only time I really noticed a game-changing difference is underload climbing. Everywhere else, like, it was great. It's awesome. Some people complain that it's slow shifting. I don't think it's slow per se. I think it shifts at the time it should shift. It is very smooth. It is very good. But I've had fully tuned cable setups that are very smooth also. You just have to pay attention to when you're shifting a little bit more. It's, you know, you're finessing and feeling. And I still, to this day, I still like that tactile feel of a mechanical shifter. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't know. I just like it. But yeah, I mean, I'll run transmission again. But my next bike, who knows? I might the next build, it'll probably be a GX or XO transmission. But for now, like, I'm just gonna throw some parts on here I already have. Throw that money in the bank and go from there. We'll see what happens. So, anyways, shout out to all you guys that are checking out my drum videos. DW Drums, what up? I just appreciate you guys, man. I'm turning this channel into just like, this is just a channel about me and shit I like to do. I like to ride mountain bikes. I like to ride motorcycles. I like to play the drums. I just got a new pickup truck. new F-150. I'm going to do a little video on that, just have some fun with it. So I always appreciate you guys. I've got like a super solid crew of guys that always comment on my videos. I love talking to you guys, and you guys are the shit. So this one's to you. Cheers. Peace.